Hi, Dyslexic Genius here. I'm back on the Edison A1 and I'm going to talk about a spindle shaft, and this is a first for me. Edison have made a mistake or an oops, and they put it together like this, and I want to show you how to fix an oops. Really, it's this gear shaft out of an A1, and when you look at this bearing part here, it fits into this bearing like so. This is right. And you turn it like this, and there's no problem. We go to the other one, and I will turn it, and look at that. Somebody drilled a hole in here. And this is a first for me, and I had to think about how was I going to fix this. So what I did was...
Did you check your A1?
I checked my A1, and it didn't have this problem. I went back and looked. So what I did was I took a piece of steel, and we're going to pretend that this looks like this, and I drilled a hole in it. I made this little hang, and I filled it with JB weld. And then after it was dry, I took a fine file that's almost worn out, and I gently rotated the shaft and got the high area off. Then I chucked it into my lathe, but you can use a hand drill at home. And then I used 400 grit sandpaper to repolish it out to fill this hole. And I said, okay, this will work. So how we do it is we have a little bit of JB weld. The thing about JB weld is I always use a little piece of card like this, and I mix it here, and I come back in the morning and I make sure that this is hard and dried. So what you do, it has two-part epoxy, and you roughly just put a pinch like that of the black stuff, and roughly the same amount of white stuff. Now you take a strong piece of wood or something, or even a screwdriver if you want to. But when you mix this, you have to mix this together, and then all of a sudden, you gotta keep mixing until you don't see white or black. It turns into this little gray stuff, just like there. There we go, we mixed it. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a little daub, and I cleaned the hole out with lacquer thinner. And the problem is when you push this JB weld into the hole, it's going to hydraulic and try to come out. So you want to push it into the hole. You can see there, right there at the edge right there, there's still a little bit of a hole. You want to push up and down on it to get rid of the hydraulic and push it in. There we go.
Hydraulic meaning it has an air bubble?
It has an air bubble in there, and you have to kind of work it out. Now what I'll do is I will let that sit overnight. I'm wiping this off because I want to reuse the stick, because I always reuse things. And now we'll wait tomorrow, and then tomorrow morning I will come in and lightly file that down, and then I'll chuck it in the lathe, or you can chuck this into a drill and use 400 grit sandpaper, which will polish it out like that, and you'll be good to go. On all the bearings, this end piece here, this shiny piece here, runs right in here. So you want to check this and polish these out on all your bearings, and polish this out. This is for oiling, so if you put a dab of oil here, it'll run down, hit the bearing, and then come out the bottom like that. So you'll always, when you flip them up, you want to use the top and let gravity pull that little drop of oil into here. Now what you want to do, and this is a tricky one, you want to use a flashlight at an angle and shine it up the hole, and then turn it around and see if there's any bearing marks or anything in there That one looks pretty good. And that's all you have to do on an A1 to fix it, but this is an absolute first for me. Some of these, like these pinions here, I've had those bent like on governors, and you can machine this off, drill in, press fit a thing, and then remachine it down to size. But this is a much easier fix at home. And I thought, you know, it's been running for over 100 years. It's still running. I just looked at that hole and I thought, well, that's just like an ice cream scoop in the bearing, just grinding away on it. And I said, I have to fix this. I hope you enjoyed the video, and that's my tip for the day.